Amazon barely keeps taping their boxes up. Did I order to Ribbit? Comment down below if you know where that's from. Oh, yes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is my birthday, and by it's my birthday I mean finally I can open up all of my birthday books that I got and show you all of the books I bought in October to celebrate my birthday. I'm normally not a the whole month is my birthday type of person, but when it comes to buying books, I definitely had that mindset. So I have been having two of these boxes I just got today finally, and then this other box from Amazon I've had for probably like a week now. And I'm just gonna go ahead and open them up, and then I have my TBR cart over here as well. Two of those shelves have books that I have bought this month that I need to haul for you guys. So let's just go ahead, open up some of these boxes and show you guys all the books that I got. I don't know how many. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest haul I've ever done on my channel. I'm not proud of that, but it happened and I have joy. So what's there really to be upset about? So anyways, let's just get into all the books I got for my birthday. So I have my stacks of books here. I am going to start with, let's start with the smallest stacks, shall we? So I have 3 thrillers slash a horror book, I think. Let me know in the comments down below if this is horror or not. I'm gonna read it anyways. But it's been on my eye for a while. So first I have Tracy Brown's Brooklyn. I think I had another book from her on my radar, and for some reason I ended up going with this one because it sounded interesting to me at the time. This one, I'll just read like small little blurbs. It says, a tale about a master manipulator and serial survivor who will scorch earth to get what she wants. When she's found murdered, the question isn't who killed her, it's who wouldn't. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And this one, it seems like it's like a cool like 90s vibe romance, but it's a thriller, y'all. Excited about that. Speaking of thriller, I have The Couple Next Door by Cherie LaPena, or LaPena. How do you say this lady's name? I don't want to mess it up. But I don't know anything about the actual book. I just know that folks seem to really, really like it, and it's short. Because a lot of times in thrillers there's always a very irritating character, always, and I can't stand to be irritated by a book character for that long. Okay, so I need you to get to it. And finally, for my mystery thriller slash horror section, I have A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is supposed to be a spin or retelling or an extension of Dracula, and he has like a coven or a harem of wives, not a coven, a harem of wives, and like this is her perspective or something like that. It says, A Dowry of Blood is a glittering tale of obsession, seduction, and power as told through the letters of Dracula's first bride, Constanta. I've wanted to read this for quite a while. I've just been real if you see my last video, or one of my last videos, it was about spooky season books for the girlies who don't really want to be spooky. Like, I have real interest in reading this, but I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to. So if this starts to make me feel a little uneasy, I have no issues DNFing. None whatsoever, but I'm gonna get to it. And then I'm gonna keep pressing because I've been talking for a very long time. So my next short stack here is nonfiction. I have been literally dipping my pinky toe back into nonfiction. The nonfiction that I read is most often about African Americans in America, or just Black people in general, Black people globally, women, or how to reframe my mindset into something more positive or more productive or constructive. So these ones kind of fall into that. The first one is Finding Me by Viola Davis. I adore her so much. She is so phenomenal, such a phenomenal actress. She's a phenomenal woman, and I find myself admiring her, and I want to know her story, and this just very much intrigues me, very much. Then I have The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. This is the epic story of America's Great Migration. So African Americans, Black people migrating from the South to northern areas such as Chicago, Detroit, New York, Philly, things like that. And there are several women's, are they all women? There are several Black American stories depicted throughout this book. I've read, I think I read the first story just to see if it was something that I could grasp and hold my attention and have interest and relate to and understand. Was it too intellectual for me? And it's not so far from that first story. This was also, this and another book that I have in here was, I was influenced by Chocolate Covered Pages. She had a video talking about big books that you should read, or like big books that are worth the read, but it doesn't read like nonfiction. It reads like well, I was gonna say like a biography, but like a story, like an actual story. There's dialogue, there's tons of dialogue in here. It's descriptive, and this is Black American history, and I would love to know more. Okay, I think my next shortest stack is going to be surprisingly romance. I know. I bought the special edition of Emily Henry's Beach Read. It has the prettiest like blue and pink like sunset, sunrise, like beachy waves. It's a continuation of this like inner cover page. It's so pretty. And the front says, "I feel overwhelmed that you exist," with a little flower. And I love flowers, if you guys don't know that. But I have had this, to be fair, I've had this on my want to read list, and I was just gonna get the regular Daily Old paperback. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but I saw this in the store and I was like, I'm gonna buy it anyways. I might as well get the really beautiful one. This was expensive. I want to say it was like $30, $35. But again, it's my birthday, so that's why I ended up getting the special edition one, and I was going to read it anyways. It's not just going to sit there and collect dust. I'm actually going to read it. Next, I have Rosewater by Liv Little. I saw this in the store and I was like, is this the same Rosewater that I had on my want to read list? Because it doesn't look like it. They changed the cover. But this is a queer romance. The front was blurbed by Bola Babalola. It says, "Frank, sexy, so tender." New York Times says simmering. And this is the person's debut book. I feel like it's very soft. The next one I have is This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith. I just saw this in Half Price Books. I think it was Half Price Books, and I read the back and it gripped me. The back gripped me. So it says, on a rainy October night in Kentucky, recently divorced therapist Tally Clark is on her way home from work when she spots a man precariously standing at the edge of a bridge. Without a second thought, Tally pulls over and jumps out of the car into the pouring rain. She convinces the man, Emmett, to join her for a cup of coffee, and he eventually agrees to come back to her house. So from there, they end up like having, I won't say relationship like necessarily one night stand. I don't know because I haven't read it, but it could be one night stand, it could be a friendship, it could be a professional relationship, but I'm assuming not, because it goes on to say that she's hesitant to tell him what she does for a living, which is a therapist, and obviously he had some a struggle with depression or like mental health or something like that, and he could be put off and like not want to be her friend or talk to her anymore. So she just treads very carefully regarding that, but It seems so like a hug, and like, look at the cover. Like he just, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys know I love a feeling type of romance, a feeling type of contemporary fiction. I don't even know if this is romance. But I'm so excited. Next, I have Grounds for Romance by Mel Walker. This is a new release. I believe it came out this month. I saw this on Instagram from Bria Celeste. She makes spreads every month for releases coming out in the next month that are by Black authors. And there's all types of genres in there. And this one was on it. And it looks so stinky cute. If you don't know, I love coffee. And this is the cover, and it's totally giving fall. I'm assuming like he owns like a bakery, because he's wearing a coffee shop. He's wearing the apron, and then she's got books and a laptop. She's like studying. It says she's a coffee shop regular with a latte addiction. He's the new to town barista with a massive secret. Ooh, that's all I'm gonna read. But it looks so cute. And the font in this book is huge. I don't know if you can see, but the font in this is huge. It's not long. It's giving Mimi Grace. Yeah, it's 204 pages. So I can read this in the blink of an eye, but I think it's going to be super cute and cozy for the fall season. So that's cute. Okay, this one is just a book trophy, if you will. This is Demon's Dream by Elle Kaysen. I told you guys about this one in my bookshelf scavenger hunt video. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, which is why I didn't have the actual book, but I will be rereading this. Okay, I just need to forget a couple of details so I can have that shock value again and just feel I want to feel everything that I felt reading this all over again. It's so much, and it doesn't feel like, I feel like I'm watching like a feature film when I'm reading this. And what's even nice, I think what made it even nicer, there's no audiobook for this. So you have to read it. You have to immerse yourself in it and eat it up by yourself. And I love that. It's been so long since I've sat and just read a book straight through, just, you know, the physical copy or on my Kindle, because I have such a long commute to and from work. I'm like, I could easily get a few chapters in each day if I listen to audiobooks. So normally I'll listen while I'm commuting, and then I'll read in my reading chair when I get home. But this one, I think it was like a long weekend. I banged it out, and now I have it, and I'll never be without it. So that's just a book trophy. Next, I have The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. This has a little sticker on it. Let's see if I can pull that off while I talk to you about it. This, it says, a gorgeously soapy debut. Chemistry is off the charts. Love would be so much easier if it were perfect. So I think this woman's husband cheats on her. Yeah, I think this woman's husband cheats on her, and it goes from there. Okay, don't get me to lying. A lot of these, I have read the synopsis. I've been influenced by Instagram or YouTube or whatever, or I just read the back of the book in the store and I was like, that sounds interesting, throw it in the bag. And it was enough for me to buy the book. So I know I have interest in it, and this is giving like scandal. It's giving like secrets. It's giving, I don't want it to be cheating. Like I don't want it to be romanticizing the cheating. I don't know, we'll see. But I've heard good things about this. I think I've heard good things about this book. Either way, once I bought the book, I'm reading it. I'm gonna see for myself. I'm not just gonna like get rid of it because I haul it and you guys are like, oh, I hate that book. I'm still gonna read it. Like, no shade. Like, obviously, like, respect to your reading experience and your feelings, but I'm gonna read it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, yeah, you was right. that book was not it, but I'm glad that I found it for myself. You know what I mean? Next, I have Milk in My Coffee by Eric Jerome Dickey. I have read this book a long time ago. I have it on my Kindle. This is a new cover, and I feel a little bit uncomfortable that this is a new cover. It's in the same style, but it's different people in the back. And then the cover for the last book, it was like a baby blue, like a sky blue, and this is red. And the red book is Drive Me Crazy, which I actually have on my shelf. So this is going to confuse the heck out of me, because if I'm looking at the Eric Jerome Dickey section and it's red, I don't know. But I've read this. This book is so freaking good. If you're gonna read an Eric Jerome Dickey book, read this one. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in another one of my videos. It was romance books that are more than just romance. Is in one of those, but he's awesome. I rave about him all the time. Give you some Eric Jerome Dickey in your life. All right, next I have a few holiday books. First I have is The Most Wonderful Time by Jane Allen. This says it entertains with a holiday spin on love and captures the anxiety of uncertainty, the weight of expectations, and the healing power of being seen, reminding us that it is connection and not necessarily time that can forge our most transformative bonds. Say less. Next, I have Love in Winterland by Abiola Bello. I'm pretty sure I found this in Target. And they were having a buy one, get one 50% off books up until Saturday, I think it was. And this was included. So yay. This is what got me immediately. A Black romance set in a Black owned bookstore at Christmas time. Yes, please. The perfect gift for Black girls who crave a screen-worthy holiday romance. Just tell me you wrote the book for me. Like, literally everything that I absolutely love and adore. Yes. And that one's YA, I think. And then the last holiday book I have is I'll Be Gone for Christmas by Georgia K. Boone. This cover is so stinking cute. This was among the first holiday books that came out at my Barnes & Noble. They have one table with holiday books on it, and this was on there along with another one of those. But this is, it says 2 cities, no plans, endless possibilities. And I think they do like a kind of swapsy thing. Yeah, house swap rom-com. So I guess one lives in the city, the other one lives in like a country cozy small town, and they swap. I've seen a movie like this. I can't remember the name of it, but it's pretty cute. And then finally, for the romance books, I have these 4 that I picked up from a local Black-owned bookstore in my town. And she has like the strangest hours, but I finally got to track her down and go and see what she has in there. She has a ton of urban fiction, and I was in heaven, because you guys know that's the vibe I've been on. So first up, I have Omar Tari's A Do Right Man. I have not read this, but look at the cover. It's giving so much 90s, and even on the back it says, finally, a story of a handsome, educated, heterosexual Black man and his experiences with careers and relationships in the fast-moving 90s. This is gonna give me such feels. I love 90s books. I love the vibe of 90s books. Like, oh my gosh, I really truly cannot wait. And what I even also love, I don't know if you can tell, the pages have like sun dyed, because there is like a lot of natural lighting in the bookstore, and the edges of the pages are like sun dyed, so it feels like not vintage, but like loved and worn. It has like a history. I absolutely love that. Next, I picked up Autumn, A Love Story by Norian Love. And what I found, because I looked into this author a little bit, this person, I think it's a man, it's a Black man, okay? Omar Tari also is a Black man writing about heterosexual Black man love. Eric Jerome Dickey, hold up. Black man, heterosexual Black man love. Now this one, I don't know if this is from the perspective of a man, because it has a woman on the front, but it's written by a man, And I have interest in those types of romances. So I was just immediately pulled in. But when I picked this up, it says, Norian Love, the author, presents a gripping novel that explores the line between love and loyalty, a romance for the ages of star-crossed lovers faced with an impossible choice. Also, a fun note about this book, it says if you buy this book, you get the exclusive soundtrack to the novel for free. So I think it's on Spotify. And it's supposed to be like an immersive reading experience. Like you're listening to the vibes with your playlist, and then you're also reading it, and it just helps feel the book a little bit better. So I really, really am looking forward to reading that. Next, I finally can start my Ashley Antoinette reading experience, because I had bought the book Butterfly months ago, and you guys were like, oh no, you cannot start there. You must start here with Moth to a Flame. So I finally got it, and it was at the Black-owned bookstore. She has a ton of Ashley Antoinette stuff. She also raved about Ethic, which you guys raved about Ethic as well, but I have to read this one first. And apparently this one is going to break my heart into tiny little pieces, and I can't wait. So that's all I know about it. I skimmed the back of it, but I don't want to know too much because I know I'm gonna love it. Okay, just surprise me 100% all the way. So I finally got Moth to a Flame, and I'm so excited to read that. And then finally, for the romance, and finally from the Black-owned bookstore that I got, that I went to, I have Second Sunday by Michelle Andrea Bowen. I'm sorry, this was like really curly, coily, cursive font, and I'm like, what is that? But I remember, do you remember this cover? I remember this cover from back in the day. Like, I didn't know nothing about it, but I feel like I saw it at like my auntie house, my mama house, my grandma house. Like, I've seen this book, and this is considered like historical fiction, I think, because it says St. Louis 1975. The church pastor has passed away. Now there's going to be a running for the new church pastor, and there's like some drama associated with it, so that's gonna be fun. So that's all I have for romance. Now let's go ahead and get into contemporary fiction, and then after contemporary fiction we have one more stack, and then we're done. Okay, you're done with me. First, I have The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abidare. I have seen her second book to the series like take off, and everyone freaking loves it, and I was like, I want to read that book. I want to start here, because I almost got it anyways. Like, you know what, it's fine, it's not a big deal. But apparently this character, the main character Aduni, has a very profound like coming of age situation in this. And in the second book is called And So I Roar. So I feel like she finds her louding voice in this, and then the second book she's like letting it ring, you know what I mean? And I want to see her grow to the point where she roars. So that's why I got this one first, and I didn't get the second book because I want to make sure that I like it for myself. So that one is one of my reads. The book that I purchased twice, that I on accident, because I bought one from Amazon and one from Book Outlet, and I normally do a really good job of making sure I only have one in each, but in my excitement I overlooked. But I have two The Personal Librarians. I have had my eye on this book for maybe like 2 months, and it is about a woman who, I'll just say it on the back here, a remarkable novel about J.P. Morgan's personal librarian, Belle DaCosta Green, the Black American woman who was forced to hide her true identity and pass as white in order to leave a lasting legacy that enriched our nation. This is based upon a true story, and I feel like I've seen a movie similar to this, but it's supposed to be like very enlightening, and I was gonna say she's like shedding light on a situation that you know exists or existed, but humanizing it. and I am really, really interested in reading this. I don't too often read back to back a lot of historical fiction, but when I do, like, I feel everything in them, and I know I'm gonna feel this one. And I'm not too mad that I got two, because I feel like there are many people in my life who might also like this as well. And if you are a personal private friend of mine, everybody is getting books for Christmas, okay? So this is going to be, one's for me and one is for someone in my life. Next, I have Perish by Latoya Watkins. This one, it says, from a stunning new voice comes a powerful debut novel, Perish, about a Black Texan family exploring the effects of inherited trauma and intergenerational violence as the family comes together to say goodbye to their matriarch on her deathbed. And one of the ladies that I follow on Instagram, I can't remember her name, but she listed this as one of her life-changing books that helped her through, like, I don't know if it was like her mother-daughter trauma or something like that, but it helped her in a profound way. And I was like, wow, I want to read something that changed someone's life. It might not change mine, but it's a powerful book and it tells a Black story, and I'm interested in it. There's another book that I have here that is similar to this premise about exploring the effects of inherited trauma and intergenerational, not violence, but intergenerational trauma and like mommy, mother-daughter issues and whatnot. And let me just go ahead and grab the couple that I'm thinking of so we can talk about them together. It's Grown Women by Sarai Johnson, and this is a new release. I think it came out in September. It said motherhood and daughterhood, generational trauma, and the tensions and wounds that divide them as they redefine happiness and healing for themselves. So if you can tell, like I mentioned with the nonfiction books that I gravitate towards, I love reading books about women, about Black people, and about self-work, healing, reframing your mind and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense that I have many books that speak to those types of things. Kind of same but different. I have Yagaisi, Homegoing. I've seen this book all over and I finally got my hands on it. Side note, I love books, I don't know if you can see, that have this like, someone had used this for book club. I got this from Half Price Books, so this was a used book. But they have these unfinished edges, you know what I mean? I love that. Like, I have no reason, but I love that so much. But this one, it follows two half-sisters who, one of them, it said they're both born in Ghana. One is married off to an Englishman and lives in comfort in the palatial rooms of Cape Coast Castle. Her sister is imprisoned beneath her in the castle's dungeons and sold with thousands of others into the Gold Coast booming slave trade and shipped off to America, where her children and grandchildren will be raised in slavery. And then it follows, it has different timelines all the way up to present day, and we see how the descendants of Ifia and Essie, the two half-sisters, have been shaped by that, the generations that came before them. So very similar books here, but I absolutely love seeing those types of stories. And if you ask me, I don't think there can be too many. Then I have another book that I was inspired to pick up by Chocolate Covered Pages here on YouTube, and it is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. Don't sue me that I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. But this book is a classic that I honestly, truly, admittedly have never read. And I haven't because I was intimidated by the size. Come on. And then I thought it was nonfiction. I was like, there's no way I'm going to read a nonfiction that is that big. It's going to bore my eyeballs out of my head. I don't want to read it. But apparently it is likened to those last few books that I've mentioned, and it is showing women, Black women in America, and their journey within America, and how they're being affected, how the generations affect one another, and it's several sisters and mothers. And correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't read the back entirely. I just have committed to reading it. She sold me. Okay, she sold me on it. I haven't read too much about it, but apparently this is a must read, and I will read it. I have it on audio. I have it on my Kindle just in case I don't want to sit with this big daddy. This has it has 790 pages, so I'm pretty sure this is the biggest book that I own. Maybe Pride of the Orange Tree is bigger, but this is huge. And am I intimidated? I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I am. But I will read this. And I'm excited to just broaden my mind and my experiences, and to have a piece of this classic Black literature like in my heart and soul sometime in the future. Next I have Say You're One of Them by Akpan. I also got this in half price books. It caught my eye. On the back it says, each story in this jubilantly acclaimed collection pays tribute to the wisdom and resilience of children, even in the face of the most agonizing circumstances. So I believe there are 4 or 6 different short stories in this book, and they all center on like children's resilience. It says something about like kids not being able to have gifts for Christmas, and like because you know they're struggling financially. One of them, their uncle tries to sell them into slavery. A Muslim boy summons his faith to bear a treacherous ride across Nigeria. Like, children are so resilient, and we'll see their journey and the effects of said resiliency. So this would be nice. I didn't realize it was short stories until I got it home, but I still very much love the themes that the stories are talking about. I don't super love short stories because I felt like they're hard to connect to, but I'm willing to give this one a try for sure. And then finally I have more contemporary fiction that just toppled over. So excuse me. This is another contemporary fiction that I have. It's called Loneliness and Company. Actually, this is a sci-fi for sure. It says, another timely, beautifully observed debut novel set in near future New York about a young woman who finds herself tangled in a secret government project combating loneliness. So I guess this lady ends up needing to teach AI, because AI is clearly taking over right now. People don't interact anymore with one another. Like, people's social batteries are depleting rapidly in social situations, and they don't know how to talk to people anymore. They're losing touch with their friendships and their relationships. So since we're so dependent on AI in this near future, this woman, what's her name, Lee, is tasked with teaching AI how to be a friend. And I like skimmed the book a little bit in the store, and it's kind of reminding me of Annie Bot. If you read Annie Bot, in the way that Annie is a bot, and she has AI and artificial intelligence within her, and she is adaptable, and she learns the person who she's assigned to, if you will, and like conforms and adapts and manipulates herself so that she can please him in every way. This person seems to, I don't know if she's going to make her a friend for her or just a friend in general, but it kind of got to me, like the Loneliness and Company, because I feel like in a way like that very well could be where we're going. And I do like that about some not dystopian, or maybe sometimes dystopian or like science fiction type books, in that it takes a concept that isn't very much conceptual. It's really happening, but it amplifies it, and it shows the effects of what could be if we continue down in this way. So if we continue to rely so heavily on AI, not knocking AI at all, there's some really cool stuff happening with it, but if we continue to rely so heavily on it, not just for processing, but for creativity and for escapism and like everything that you would need to like connect with other people to do, or using your own brain, you're going to forget how to use those skills. And if you're using AI or robot or programming to do everything for you, you're never going to have to communicate with people anymore. And then one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be lonely as heck, and you're going to want a friend, and the only friend you possibly could have is a robot. So I think that is a very interesting premise. Next, I have Pride by E.B. Zoboy. I'm sorry. I have another book by this person. It was American Street. I read it a long time ago. Don't remember a single thing, but I still have it on my shelf, so I liked it well enough. This is called Pride, and it is a spin, a black spin, a modern spin, a Harlem spin on Pride and Prejudice. I think I read Pride and Prejudice when I was 16, so it was a little while ago, just a couple of years. But I don't remember anything about Pride and Prejudice. So is this really gonna like hit for me? Like, oh man, this is like, I totally see the parallels. Probably not, but the premise in and of itself was interesting enough, so I got it. And this is YA. I got a book that I've been seeing so much lately. It is Normal People by Sally Rooney. The back here says Connell and Marianne grew up in the same small town, but the similarities end there. At school, Connell is popular and well-liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Normal People is a story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond, in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find that they can't. I have seen so many polarizing opinions on this book, and I just need to know. It's under 300 pages, but I feel like it's gonna pack a punch, and I'm interested. I'm really interested. I like the loneliness angle. Like, if you can tell, I just had that book, Loneliness and Company. Like, I like exploring that, because I categorize myself as an introvert. I'm very friendly, I'm really nice, but in my heart of hearts, I'm an introvert. Like, I recharge by having solitude. So these two people like meeting and having a connection and an experience, and like not getting torn apart, but like feeling pulled together. I feel like that's going to be pretty interesting, and I just kind of want to see how that unfolds. Next, I have Colored Television by Denzi Senna. This one says, a brilliant dark comedy about love and ambition, failure and reinvention in the racial identity industrial complex, from the best-selling author of Caucasia. This is the same author. I read the inside here, but again, I've seen this cover every time I go into Barnes & Noble. It's on like that first entry table. I see it all the time. I don't think I've seen it too much on social media, but the premise got me. It is, again, kind of about resilience and finding yourself. It says love and ambition and failure and reinvention. I love that. I love all of those things. Some of them are very admirable, some of them are very humbling, and I would love to see that. And then also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, there's racial identity. So these people are biracial or multiracial, and there are some complexities and struggles and conflicts surrounding that, and I just want to know. All right, now really finally, for the contemporary fiction or historical fiction or just general fiction, I have Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. I was influenced to read this from Shelby in the book club here on YouTube. She, and I ran out and bought it that very day, that very day, because I didn't want to forget. It says, in a world without white people, what does it mean to be Black? So this is a Black utopian book. All of the white people in the world walk into a body of water and they drown. And as you can imagine, like, the economy and life as we all know it is upset, and upset in a way that, I mean, it's turned on its head. It's very different. It's very confusing. Some people are like, we're free from the oppressors, and some people are like lost because some of those are their family members. One of the main characters, Sydney, is a 19-year-old left behind by her white mother and stepfamily. Like, her dad is Black, but he hasn't never really been involved. They're estranged, and she lived with her white mom and like her stepfamily, her mom's new husband and their kids and everything, and they all died. So she's by herself now. She has to seek out her biological father, and it goes from there. I'm not too sure what goes on with the economy or the rest of this utopian society, but I'm really interested. I'm really intrigued. I was telling my mom about this. I said, it's kind of messed up in a way, because it's kind of glorifying like genocide, which actually happens to people, and I would argue that nobody with a soul would want that. But it's written here, it's depicted here as a utopian society, and I'm just like, can you do that? Like, I don't know, I'm very conflicted in my feelings about it. But again, this is something that I'm going to need to read for myself and to experience and feel and make my own conclusions about how I feel about this book. But I just thought that was way too unique of a premise to leave in the store. All right, finally, I have been talking for forever. Forgive me, please, 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 please. I have a huge stack of fantasy books. First, I have The Dividing Sky by Jill 2. This has been on my want to read list for a very, very long time, but it just released this month. This says it's set in the future. In 2364, 18-year-old Liv Newman dreams of a future beyond her lower class life in the metro. Liv is a proxy, using the neurochip in her brain to sell emotional memories to wealthy clients. And yeah, maybe she deals a few memories illegally for an extra buck, but money is the key to her freedom. So when an eccentric customer offers her a ludicrous sum to go on an assignment in no man's land, Liv accepts. The truck will be worth it if she manages to survive. And then it talks about another one of the characters, but I won't go into it. But it just seems like a fun, fast-paced journey. Is set in the future. I don't think I've read a book set in the future. You're selling memories, and people don't have memories. How you got the memories? Nobody else got memories. Like, what is happening? Or how are you creating or crafting or pulling and siphoning these memories? I have questions. And the cover looks really cool. It says, a memory lost, a love found, a world saved. I love. Next, I have Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. One of my coworkers like challenged me, or challenged us to, we recommend each other a book that we have read personally that we think the other person would really, really love. And then we are both going to read a book that neither one of us has read, but we both probably will like. And this is the book that neither one of us have read, but we'll probably will like. So I had to pick this up so I could not buddy read it, but so we could talk about it. Then I have The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I saw this on Kayla's Bookish Vibes. Actually, I think I saw it before, but I know she's read it. And seeing that she's read it and she loved it so much, I was like, okay, I'll definitely move that on up to the to buy list. This is very short as well. It's under 200 pages. But I believe this is about Black mermaids and like a spin or a twist on what we think of when we think of mermaids. And like, it's got some historical elements to it. It's got obviously some fantasy elements because it's mermaids, and it's very moving. It's very short, but I hear it packs a punch, and I've been wanting this for a long time. Next, something else I've been wanting for a long time, but I haven't gotten because the first 2 books are paperback and the 3rd book is hardback, and it's going to be a while before the 3rd book comes in paperback, but I don't want to wait that long to start reading the series. So I just went ahead and got them all in hardback, and I got a good deal on these, so I'm not too mad. But I got the Gilded Ones series. I got all 3 of the books. Normally I don't do this, but again, I wanted them all to be like the same format, all paperback, all hardback, or whatever. So I just went ahead and got them all. And a couple of these are like $6 or $7 from Book Outlet, so I wasn't mad about that. This one is about, it says, are we girls or are we demons? Are we going to die or are we going to survive? And I think like their blood is golden, and if your blood is golden, you're like, are you sought after, or like do they think, yeah, gods or demons, or girls or demons? So like, are you like revered or are you feared and haunted or whatever? So, and there's a whole series about this, and it looks like they're like warriors. I know you guys have seen this series before, but I finally picked that up and I'm gonna get into it. I'm no longer afraid of fantasy. I'm not scared anymore. So I am really excited to get into those. I also picked up this book. This is so pretty. One of the prettiest covers that I have in my entire collection. I just saw this at my bookstore. It's called The Emperor and the Endless Palace by Justinian Huang. This is also a debut novel. Says, what if I told you that the feeling we call love is actually the feeling of metaphysical recognition when your soul remembers someone from a previous life? That sounds very similar to a quote that I love. It says, on your worst days, what if your face is the face of the one you loved most in your previous life? Think about how much more you would love yourself if that were true. And that just makes my heart just bleed all over the place. And that quote from this book very much made me think of this. And this is set in the year 4 BCE. So this is kind of the opposite of that Dividing Sky book. This is a very ancient book, but I'm very interested in reading that. Like, just that love and soul connection just got me. Next, I've been wanting these books for so long, but they're on Kindle Unlimited, so I was like, no, I'll just read them on Kindle Unlimited, it's fine. But these I also picked up during the Target buy one get one half off sale. Is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I haven't heard a bad word about this. This is a what they call it, gothic fantasy. It's got a little bit of romance, not a lot of spice if I'm not mistaken, but it's very highly acclaimed, and I want to be in on it. Like, this is one of the things, like, I don't want to miss out. I want to know. So I got these, and I plan on reading these. I was actually supposed to start them today, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to read these soon, like definitely in like this fall winter season, because it's very gothic. Like, look at that. It's like a misty, foggy wood, like castles, and I'm really excited to read these. And this is a completed duology. They're not going to make any more. This is done. This is it. So if there's a cliffhanger, which I think there is, I already got book 2. I don't want no troubles. Next, I have Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. Everyone loves this book. Now, the reason why I was like, I'm about to get that, I know it's like very popular, but I don't do vampires. Not that I'm afraid of them or anything, not that I think they're icky or like unholy, and I don't think anything like that. I just don't do vampires. But for some reason I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see what they're talking about, because maybe it's the FOMO, and I don't even think that, I believe I'm gonna eat this up. It's one of the girls that I'm friends with on Instagram. She also doesn't do vampires. She's like, I'm not a vampire girly, I don't like vampires, but let's see what they're talking about. And she was like, I want to be a vampire now. Why am I not a vampire? Why am I not in this book? Like, I I want to know, like, you got me so bad. And again, I haven't heard a single bad word about this. This is this author's debut book, I think. But I'm really excited. Next, I have Annie Davenport's The Blood Gift. This is the second book. It's a duology. And I have the first book, The Blood Trials, and then this one is The Blood Gift. It's completed. There aren't going to be any more books, and they're both hardback, so I love that. Don't ask me what this one is about. Again, I've read one of Annie Davenport's books, okay? It is Out of Body. It's a sci-fi. It's like body snatching. It was very trippy, and I liked it. I very much liked it. So the reason why I went ahead and I bought these is because I'm confident that I like her writing style. I know that she can keep me engaged, and I like her imaginative, like very fresh, very unique storylines. So I went ahead and got that second book. And then finally, guys, this is the last book, or a book set rather. It is another accidental double purchase. Unsure of what I'm gonna do with the second set of these, but I got the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I ordered these from the same place. I'm unsure why this one is unwrapped and this one is wrapped, but it's neither here nor there. I don't really mind. They seem to be in excellent condition. But yes, this is the Shades of Magic series. It has a darker shade of magic, it has a gathering of shadows, and a conjuring of light. If you guys see my reading wrap up for October, you will see me freaking swoon about The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by this author. I love that book. I gave it 5, possibly 6 stars. I love that book and that writing and the so I had to get more. My camera's about to die. Perfect timing. So those are all the books that I got for my birthday. There's a little bit of absolutely everything. I'm so excited to get into these. I'm going to need another bookshelf, but thank you guys so much for following along with me and celebrating with me in your own way just by being here. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned for some of these reading wrap-ups and reading vlogs and things like that, because I'm going to get into these, baby. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already considered subscribing, please consider doing so. For moving on, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.